Hi everyone, my name is Maddie, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my January 2021 TBR chosen by Dart Attack. So it's the new year, well it's not when I'm filming this, but it's the new year pretty much. We're going into January. It's going to be a big year for me, a big year for a lot of people I would assume, and I need to choose my TBR. For anyone that is new to this channel or new to Dart Attack, Dart Attack is my monthly TBR game where I throw darts at this lovely dartboard here and it picks out a prompt and that makes me choose what I'm going to read for the month. If you want to get more up to date on like the rules of Dart Attack, there are a few different rules, and just see previous episodes, I do have a whole playlist which will be linked, which shows all the episodes of Dart Attack we've had so far. I think there's been 6 months prior to this one, so there's a lot to catch up on if you want to watch them. But before getting into picking my January TBR and explaining a few very small changes, I need to tell you how my December reading went. So if you follow my channel and if you follow my Twitter, you know how my reading has gone in December. It has been abysmal. It is currently the 22nd, so I do have like a full week of the month left, but I have read a grand total of 0 books. I did finish one, but that was very much a November book. I was just finishing the first few days of December. I have been moving, I've been doing a whole lot of work of like admin and preparation for my job, which starts on the 4th of January. So we will go through the books I was meant to read. I have read none of them, but I'm in the middle of one of them and there are a couple I will be reading before the end of the month. So let's go through them quickly. So first, the prompt I got was BookTube Fave and I chose The Bone Scenes by Samantha Shannon. I am currently halfway through it. I am currently at this point, so I will definitely be finishing this month, but I haven't read it yet. Next, for gift, I did get Saga Volume 4 and I haven't read it yet, but I will again be reading it before the end of the month. I don't have a copy with me right now, but I will be reading it. So again, not yet, will be done. Next up I got Number, and what was chosen for me was Betrayals by Bridget Collins. I've not picked this up. I won't have time before the end of the month. I just don't have time. Next up I got Rep and I chose The Raven Tail by Anne Leckie. Again, haven't read this yet, but we'll be reading it very soon as this was the FAES and Gaze December pick. The live show for this is going to be on the 9th of January, a little bit later than normal, but it's just when it could fit in. So I will obviously read it before the live show, though I'm very much planning to read it before the end of the year instead of waiting till January, because I'm not expecting to have time to read in that first week or so of January. But again, not read it, we'll be reading it in the next few days. Next was Pet Pick and I got These Violent Delights. Haven't read it, don't have time, still want to, we'll read it soon. Not right now. Next, for LGBTQ+, I did choose A Beautifully Foolish Endeavour. Again, I don't have time. We know that every single one I pick up is going to say I didn't read it because I read nothing, so I didn't read it. I will soon. And then finally, for 5-star prediction, I chose Running with Lions by Julian Winters. I read the first 10 pages of this and then started moving. Again, it won't be read this month. I'll read it sometime soon. The one other book I had on my TBR for the month was Days of Blood and Starlight for Along. The live show for this will be on the 2nd of January. I will link everything down in the description of the Twitters. You can keep an eye on them to find full announcements for all these live shows. Say it with me though, I haven't read this. I will be reading this straight after the Bone season though, so I'll be reading this really soon. So normally when I've been unsuccessful, I would roll one of the books over. I'm not going to. It's the start of a new year. We want to start fresh. Some of these books may appear on my January TBR anyway, but I need to start fresh. December was just a really frustrating month. It's been a good month. I've achieved a lot, but reading was not one of the things I did achieve. So we're just going to put it behind us and we're going to move on to January. So for January, there is going to be a very slight change in that normally I do choose 6 books. I do 6 throws or extras if I hit something 3 times, but I very much plan to choose 6 books. This month I am choosing 4. I am hoping this will only be for January and won't continue to the rest of the year. I'm hoping for February to go back up to 6. However, I know I'm starting a new job. I've mentioned it many times on the 4th of January. And I know especially the first week of that, I'm not even expecting to sleep, let alone read. And I'm expecting for the first few weeks of this job, obviously adjusting to a new job, possibly lots of traveling, all sorts of things. I'm not expecting to have a whole lot of time for reading. So I'm just gonna really limit my expectations for January and I'm only gonna do 4 throws. Obviously if I get doubles, it may go up, but the hope is to only do 4 so that I can hopefully actually finish a TBR, because not once in the last 6 months have I finished my Dart Attack TBR and it's really starting to bug me now. I've had reading slumps, I've had unexpected things come up that made me busier than I anticipated being, but it's annoying me that I never quite finish the TBR. So I am going to just do 4 for January. I apologise, I know it's less throws, but hopefully we'll go back up to 6 depending on how January goes. Another reason for only doing 4 is there are 2 books I have to read in January anyway, and so if I can't fit these onto those 4, I don't want to end up with too many. But quickly to tell you what those are. The first is The Black Tides of Heaven by Neon Yang. This is the January FAES and Gaze Book Club pick. Again, if you want to find out more about FAES and Gaze, it is always linked in the description. We have a Twitter where we put all of our announcements. There's a Discord chat with almost 100 people in it now where we just chat about books. So feel free to join us on that and join us in reading The Black Tides of Heaven by Neon Yang, which is a LGBT fantasy. Shock horror, it's what the whole book club is about. And then I have Dreams for Gods and Monsters by Laini. This is the final book for the Dosabalong read-along, though I will say it is most likely not the end of Dosabalong, but we'll get more into that a bit later. But yes, I need to read this in January, and this is chunky. This is over 600 pages, so I am obviously hoping to fit these into the prompts if I can, but we will see. I am also reading 2 or 3 non-fiction books at the moment as preparation for my job, so those are kind of in the back of my mind at the same time, though I will have read those before I start my job on the 4th, so hopefully I'll read them and not have to put them in the TBR, but yeah, that's that. So with the TBR board, you may notice there's a new little thing here. Basically, I have put the tally here. I am still going to put up here in a nice graphic the tally for where we got to the end of last month, but I obviously don't make that for the whole video, like every time we do a throw, because it would take me way too long. So we just have this here, and we have crossed off, I don't know how clearly you can see it, but we have crossed off the ones I've done, and I will keep this updated as I throw things, and then you will know with me where is safe and where isn't, and hopefully it'll just make it a bit easier for you guys to keep track. And then the final thing before doing the first throw is to replace prompts. I am actually replacing 2 prompts on this board instead of 1. The one I would need to replace, you can't see it, would be light orange because that's where we ended last month. I am actually also replacing purple way up there because I did very quickly before this video go through my prompts and I have removed a few. I knew there were a couple that were coming up. And I don't mind challenging myself, I don't mind having some prompts that make it kind of difficult to choose a book, but with how busy I am and how much I'm struggling to read at the moment, I don't want to put a book on I'm pretty sure I won't like, so I've taken a couple prompts out, and the one that was on purple was lowest rated, and I just know that if that comes up, it's going to be a book I guaranteed won't read in January. I don't have the time to dedicate to a book I won't like. So I've taken that plus a couple others out, mainly for logistical issues. The others, like for example closet, I no longer live at home, so I don't have access to my closet TBR, so that's had to go off the list. So yes, I'm also replacing purple. Sorry if people don't like me switching up prompts, but the last thing I want to do when I have so limited time is to purposely choose a book I'm not gonna like. That just doesn't seem like a good idea. But anyway, replacing the prompt for light orange, I think it is. That one. And then replacing the prompt for purple. Anything will be better than lowest rated. Oh, I just dropped loads of them. Let's go with this one. So I guess the next thing to do, first throw. Okay, so this is the point where I always get nervous, but I cannot begin to describe the absolute terror I have right now because I'm in a new flat. I've just realized loads of the snowflakes are missing off the board. I left them on because they looked pretty and 3 are missing, so we're just gonna take those off. Okay, snowflakes gone, as I was saying. I cannot describe the absolute fear I have playing this month. Because previously, if I completely missed and hit the wall, then like it was a pain and I damaged my wall, but like it was my wall. I am now in a rented flat. So we're really, really, really gonna hope I don't hit the wall. I shouldn't do. I have never actually missed the board. I missed the target, but I've never missed the board. So I don't think there's a particularly high chance of it happening, but either way, I am absolutely petrified. So I guess let's do throw number 1 and just hope this doesn't end really, really badly. When creating this game, I did not think through the fact I was gonna have to play this in rented accommodation. But it's too late now, so let's just play. Okay, throw number 1, here we go. I missed, not the board, but I missed the target. That's fine. I just realized I didn't have my phone set up, so you missed that first throw, and I just spent 10 minutes scouring my apartment for my other tripod. I did not remember where I'd put this, but we found it. I will set my phone up and you won't miss any more throws. This is what I get for trying to play this game having just moved. It just doesn't go well. Okay, my phone is set up. It is recording. Let's try throw number 1 again and see what prompt we get for the first book. I cannot believe I've been filming for 20 minutes and I haven't chosen a book yet. This is ridiculous. Throw 1, take 2. Light blue. Ooh, okay. New author. Okay, so throw number 1 was light blue. After the miss, I have already crossed the miss off. So that is light blue, marked off. And the prompt it gave me was new author. So this actually works out perfectly for one of the books I already mentioned, and that is Baptized to Heaven by Neon Yang. I have not read from this author before. This is the first in a series of novellas, I think. So I'm going to be reading this one in January. Lovely short book to start us off. This is what we like to see, and I'm really excited for this. I don't know much about the plot. I think it follows some twins. I think it follows a world where everyone is brought up sort of gender neutral, and then when you reach age of maturity, I don't know if it's like 16 or 18 or something, you choose which gender you would like to go forward living as. And I think it follows someone who kind of decides to remain gender neutral because they've never really considered anything else, and maybe a sort of side male plot, I think. I don't know, it just sounds like a very interesting series. It gets very, very good reviews, and I'm really excited to give it a go and see what the actual plot is. On to throw number 2. I'm finding it far more difficult filming here than at home, I think, just because I got the setup down, I've got a system at home. It's a bit more complex here, especially balancing on my sofa, so we're working on it. If it's a bit chaotic, I apologise. I've realised I haven't even taken into account like where's safe, but basically the whole left-hand side of the board is safe. Honestly, pretty much anywhere safe unless I get doubles other than yellow and red. So I don't really know, we're just gonna aim and see where we get to. Dark green. And dark green is, bring it right to the camera for you, big book. So that time we got dark green, so marking it off, making it a slightly scarier colour for future. But the prompt for that was big book. I've lost the prompt. Big book. Someone out there is really looking out for me today and just being like, you know what, let's not give you too much to read because January's going to kill you anyway. And so we got big book, which normally I wouldn't like, but a book I need to read is over 600 pages anyway, so it works. Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor. Let's give you a synopsis. I obviously can't give you a synopsis for this because it's the third in a trilogy, but I will give you a synopsis for the series as a whole. It follows a girl called Karoo who is a bit strange, has sort of things that don't seem right, like her hair grows blue and it actually grows blue. And she is associated with this sort of man/creature and has to collect teeth for him, and she doesn't know why and she can't tell anyone about it. And then all of a sudden one day she can no longer access him, and he is her family, and it's heartbreaking for her, and just so much fantastical stuff happens from there. It's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet retelling. It's not specifically, but it's the typical star-crossed lovers from warring sides thing. So I love it. It's amazing. If you wanted to read the whole series, the first live show has already happened and is already up on my channel. You can go back and watch it. I'll link the playlist here. The second one, 4 Days of Blood and Starlight, will be happening on the 2nd of January if you want to read and catch up and watch that. And then I don't know whether live for this one will be sometime in February. But I'm very excited to read this. As I've said a million times, Laini Taylor is one of my favourite authors. This is one of my favourite series. So very happy to be rereading this in January. Perfect comfort read for what I'm going to be up to. So picking out a prompt to replace big book, we are going with this one. Ooh, I dropped it. This one. I promise that is the same one as the one I dropped. I'm not having you on. Okay, throw number 3. Okay, supposedly halfway through the throws, it's going well, I'm feeling happy, I've got the 2 mandatory books on there. Now's the kind of fun part. Now I get to actually see what the hell I'm going to be reading, because normally I have a list of 10 books in my head that I really want to get to. I genuinely have no idea what I want to read. I might want to continue the Bone Season series, I might want to read The Fever King by Victoria Lee. I know that's high up my priority list. But I really don't know what I'm feeling because I've not been reading much recently. I kind of just don't know where I'm at with reading. So let's see what prompt I get and see what it guides me to read. Okay, throw number 3. Pink. That's interesting. And pink is... oh no! I can't get the blue tack off. Self-destruct. Okay, I'll turn the camera back around in a minute, but I've got self-destruct, which is such an evil prompt, so I am gonna go do some serious thinking and pick a book and come back and tell you what I'm reading. Okay, so that was pink, just marking it off. Oh god, this is starting to look scary with 1 throw left, but pink got me one of the most evil prompts, which is self-destruct. And I have been going back and forth from the second I wrote this prompt as to what exactly it means. For a bit of context, a lot of people do videos called These Books Will Self-Destruct in 12 Months, which are books that if they've not read them within the next year, they have to unhaul them. I personally don't think I'll ever make a video like that unless it really gets to the point where I've got this list of books I've just never got to and I'm looking to unhaul but not quite sure yet. I'll give myself a year and then maybe. But I'm not great at unhauling, and B, my reading taste changes too often for that to work for me, because I could go like a whole year only reading contemporary. It would never mean I don't want to read the fantasy books I have, it just means that right then that's what I'm feeling, and sometimes it can switch back and forth in a month, sometimes it can take months and months and months to switch. So I would never do a video like this because I'm just chancing fate. So what this prompt was originally meant to mean was, if I get that prompt, then whatever book I choose for it, if I don't read by the end of the month, I have to unhaul it, which sounds like a terrible idea because 1 month is not a lot, and especially for this month, if I don't read it in this month, that's not surprising. If I read anything this month, it's going to be an absolute miracle. So this is a terrifying prompt to get, but with only choosing 4 books, hopefully I have 1 throw left, but I've got a lot of safe colours, I am going to take the punt and I'm going to choose a book that if I haven't read it by the end of January, I have to unhaul it. But like, I'm not going to unhaul it. It's the first in a series that I'm really anticipating, so I don't really know what to do with it. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm choosing a book and it's just going to be my top priority. I have to read it first, I think is pretty much what we're going to be calling this. It just has to be the first book I read, because if I don't get to it, then we're in trouble. So I think for this instance, normally I would choose a book that like I kind of feel like unhauling anyway. I don't have any of those in my flat because I like literally 2 weeks ago specifically chose books I really want to bring. So of course all the books here are ones I really want, but also I'm not getting rid of this book. So this is more gonna be I'm going to read this first. So this is just kind of chosen my first book of January, I guess. And it's The Fifa King by Victoria Lee. Part of the reason I've chosen this is I've read it before, rereads are always a little bit quicker, and I know I loved it and I know it was quick the first time. So this should be easy to do. It's 350 pages. My hope is I can maybe even read this before I start my job, like literally the first 3 days of the month. Questionable, we'll try. Yeah, this is a YA dystopian story following sort of alternative America where a disease is ravaging the country, and if you get this disease, most people die, but if you survive, then you come out with kind of superpowers, and this one boy gets that and gets taken into this institution to learn to use them, but it's very much everyone's morally grey, he doesn't know who to trust, you don't know who to trust, it's LGBT, it's phenomenal, I love the author Victoria Lee. I am really excited to reread this and read the sequel, and it's part of one of my like series projects for the year. If you want to know what series I want to read in the year, I have a whole video about it. So this one is, I guess, the first book I'm reading in 2021. I'm quite excited for that. I'm not unhauling it. It's not happening, which just means I have to read it first. And replacing that prompt, possibly replacing the prompt for the final time. It feels so weird to be doing so few throws because normally obviously I have the 6 throws plus like tons of extras because I miss lots. With 4, obviously dropping so many, there's less chance of even missing some. So yeah, and that's the prompt. I can't reach that from down here. Okay, I'm standing up, but on to the next throw. So throw number 4, quite possibly the final throw, unless I hit red, yellow, dark green or pink, or I miss multiple times, or we get like anything double or triple. So final throw, I guess? I know it's less fun seeing me not suffer and seeing less throws, but for this 1 month, it's a good thing. So I promise, well, I hope the chaos will be back soon with lots of throws and lots of hell. But I am very, very grateful that this month is going well for me. Throw number 4. Red. I try not to swear on my channel, so we're gonna cut that swear out. Okay. Red is thriller. Okay, so I just got thriller and I have just stared at my shelves for a really long time. I do not have a single thriller with me. And like, I am going home for Christmas, I could get one, but I think it's quite telling that I brought probably 100, 200 books with me and I haven't brought one thriller. I have some dystopians, which I guess are thrilling, but I don't have a thriller because I clearly didn't think I'd want to read a thriller in a good few months. So what I'm gonna do is absolutely bend my own rules. Red has made me have an extra throw, so I am gonna have to redo throw 4 and do throw 5, but I'm gonna switch out this prompt and just take the color in that it has to give me an extra throw but I'm not gonna read a thriller. I don't have a thriller to read, even if I wanted to. Like, I literally don't have one. What am I meant to do with that? Well, I guess we're having a new rule for today. So, replacing that, we are going to go with, do some shuffling. I'm so scared of this stack, I swear. Go with one right in the middle, go with that one. I don't know if you can see that with the lighting. And now we're gonna do throw 4 again, and then a 5th throw. If anyone thinks I'm really cheating, feel free to come for me in the comments, but like, I don't really care. I don't have a thriller to read. I'm kind of stuck on that one. That might be a prompt that gets removed for a while because I literally don't have any thrillers here, so that'll probably come out of circulation for a few months. Right, next. Let's do throw 4, take 2, see what we get. This is increasing the chances of me having to add throws though, which I'm not sure is a good thing, but here we go. What's safe? Dark blue, purple, let's try over there. Dark blue, look at that aim! I'm proud of that. And that is, oh for God's sakes, intimidating. It was going too well. Intimidating in a month where I have an idea. We've got this. Okay, so that time we got dark blue, crossing it off before the final throw, and the prompt was intimidating. And I didn't know what I was going to read for this because obviously the last thing I want to do is add scary books to my TBR. So we're going with this. This is Black Box Thinking by Matthew Syed. I'm not sure how to say it. This is one of the preparatory books I need to read for my job. It's actually an optional one. We have one mandatory and then a list of optionals. This is the one I have chosen that I'm going to read. It sounds really interesting, but it's very intimidating. I so rarely read non-fiction, and so I'm really scared of non-fiction. So this, I will likely start this right at the end of December, but I am expecting to be reading it through the first week or so of January. So that counts, I think. It counts close enough for me. Yeah, I'm very intimidated by this, and it's an intimidating book. It's not fiction, which is very off the wall for me, but it counts. It's a book, it has pages, therefore it is counting for Dart Attack today. I'm really feeling like this video is just me justifying my decisions to you guys, but it's where we're at today, so we're going with it. Okay, so replacing the prompt for fingers crossed the last time, we will go with, shuffle them all together, this one. And on to what I really, really hope is the final throw. Okay, here we go. Final throw, or at least it better be, as long as I avoid yellow, dark green, and pink, this should be the final throw. Where are those? Ooh, those are evenly spaced. That's interesting. Maybe let's try for like the yellowy orangey section somewhere there and see what happens. Not yellowy orange, reddy orange. Yellow is a bad thing. Let's see. Light orange, that'll do. Okay, and that prompt is contemporary. And the prompt on light orange was contemporary, which actually works out really, really nicely. I don't have the book to show you, but I have been approved for an e-arc of One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston, which is one of my most anticipated 2021 releases. I don't actually have it yet. Everything's obviously slowed down for Christmas, so they said they would send it to me in the new year. Fingers crossed they do, otherwise I'm gonna have to choose a different book for this. But that is very much what I'll hopefully be reading. One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. It is a contemporary female-female romance with, I think, a time travel element, but it's very much still considered contemporary as far as I can tell. So I'm gonna use that. I really wanna read it. Yeah, it works perfectly. A fun Casey McQuiston book to round out January would be great. So that, plus the Casey McQuiston book, is my very reasonably sized January TBR. I am really, really happy that it's not too big. As I said, I know everyone likes seeing me get these huge TBRs and do loads of throws, and I get that, I enjoy doing it too. But for this 1 month, this definitely suits the situation better. I'm actually optimistic I can get through all of these. Who knows if I actually will, because every time I said I'm optimistic, I failed anyway. So I may fail yet again, but fingers crossed, for the first time since Dart Attack began back in July, I will actually read all of these. I really, really hope so anyway. That is it for the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below what you're reading in the month. Are you reading any of these? Do you feel like I really stretched the rules too far? I mean, you can say that even if you think it, but it's too late now, and I promise as of February, assuming my life isn't still chaos, I will be back to following this religiously and pushing myself more with my reading. That is one of my goals for 2021, is to challenge myself with my reading. One of the reasons I love having this. It's just a case of, obviously, when I'm exceedingly strapped for time, I don't want to ruin the few bits of time I have when I can actually read. So yeah, situation for this month, it is a one-off. We will get back to regularly scheduled chaos very soon, hopefully. But that's it. So subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. Links to all my other social media, as well as links to the read-alongs and book clubs I host, are linked down below in the description, as they always are, if you want to connect with me or take part in any of those other things. That is it for the video, so bye, and I'll see you in the next one.